that eat human flesh to get power, and one eats them to become invisible. Isn't it extremely irrational? Gross, yet peculiarly interesting. Cannibal tribes that still exist. Number 10. The Korowai of Indonesian New Guinea. One of the best known and most famous cannibals in the world, Korowai are the most brutal rolling stones of eating people deep in the jungles of West Papua New Guinea. Their lifestyle is exactly the same as that of their ancestors 10,000 years ago, as if the people kept being replaced by generations without a crumb of evolution in the tribe. These people do not understand microbes and germs, so if someone dies by falling out of a treehouse or killed in battle, that's fine for them, because the reason of death is quite visible. But if someone dies mysteriously to them of a disease that they can't see, they believe it is due to a kakua, a witch man who comes from the netherworld and possesses the body of a man to eat it from the inside. To take their revenge, Korowai start eating the man from the outside to eat the kakua. It is part of their revenge-based justice system. Number 9. The Wari people of Brazil. Hands down to the most interesting burial technique and most gruesome cannibalism in the world. The Wari, also nicknamed as Paca Nova, are the indigenous people of Brazil, and if you're hanging out with them, there's a fairly fat chance of you eating at least one dead person during your stay. The practice, called endo-cannibalism, means eating the members of one's own tribe after they die. It is a death ritual that involves leaving the dead body out on a field for as long as all the members of the deceased family come. In the meantime, the body begins to bloat and decompose. The present family members try to save the body from birds, and upon the family's arrival, the whole family feasts on the heart and internal organs of the body, leaving the skin and hair to rot. Number 8. The Leopard Society of West Africa. Known to dress themselves in leopard skins, this cannibalistic group of West Africa is known to the world as the Leopard Society. They attack unsuspecting travelers with homemade knives and swords, and since they are cannibalistic, I think you can imagine what would come next. If you have guessed that they open their victim and munch on them, you guessed it right. They believe that eating raw human flesh strengthens their tribe. The group has gone underground completely at the beginning of the 21st century, but that doesn't mean they are not out there waiting for their next victim across Sierra Leone. Number 7. Agori monks of India. Among all modern cannibals, the most dangerous are the ones whose culture has not evolved along with the rest of society. Varanasi is the home to the Agori monks, a group of cannibals which reside in northern India and is still a mystery to the rest of the world. Various myths surround these monks, and locals believe they have special powers of predicting the future, walking on water, and evil prophecies. The Agori believe that in order to reach enlightenment, they have to immerse themselves in activities that other people deem as taboo or disturbing. They spend their life chewing the heads off live animals, dabbing ash from burnt corpses on their bodies, meditating on top of corpses, and eating raw human flesh. They do things that make no sense to normal humans, like this monk got angry with a news reporter and he attacked him with his urine. He literally cupped his pee in his hand and threw them on the reporters. Number 6. The Amahuacas of Peru. This tribe of cannibalism believes that you must eat the body to preserve your soul, and don't for a second think that missionary Christians have not traveled deep in the jungles to convert this cannibalistic tribe to Christianity. The efforts have always backfired, causing the missionaries to be eaten by the Amahuaca. I will tell you their psyche. Look, if your friend dies, where would you like to keep it? Warm inside yourself or beneath the cold ground? These people believe that once a person has died, they should consume them to keep them inside of a warm friend, rather than the cold ground. Simple, yet gross. They bury their dead, and right after 1 month after the funeral, disinter the decomposed corpse and put it in a great pan over a fire. They cook the body over fire till all the volatile parts are driven off with a most horrible odor. In the end, only a black, carbonaceous mass is left, which is then ground into a fine powder and mixed in several large vats made out of hollow trees, filled with kaxiri. Whatever the thing is made as an end product is then drunk by the assembled company till all is finished. Now the dead friend is all well inside his warm friends. Number 5. Cargo cults of Tana. This cannibalistic group has recently surfaced in Tana, from strange praying rituals to straight up killing people and eating them so they can bring an end to the world and take over the uninhabited Earth. They also believe that an American deity will land over them to bring them great gifts like TVs, refrigerators, and other appliances. They have this irrational thing in their minds that they will gain power by eating people, and that they can become invisible if they eat the hearts and kidneys of their victims. Now, the belief about the American deity that I told you about before? They think that if they carry out these illogically gross cannibalistic rituals, that deity will throw goods out of the sky over them. Number 4. Naihehe Caves of Fiji. This entry is about Cannibal Island, which you might not be familiar with. Actually, the country Fiji has such a long and bloody, creepy history of cannibalism. Such cannibalistic practices were so rife in this country that it famously started being known as the Cannibal Island. According to the officials of the Fiji Museum, they have found archaeological evidence that would suggest that the practice of consuming human flesh actually dates back more than 2,500 years. But don't take it as a threat, because the cannibalistic activities, however, have now almost died out in recent years, especially with the exception of the Naihehe Caves, which is a home to the last human-eating group on the island. Number 3. The Mai Mais of Democratic Republic of Congo. These are the people who believe that eating their dead would transfer their knowledge into themselves. The Mai Mai people of the Congo are essentially community-based militias who are bound together in order to keep their homes from being taken over by a variety of armed groups. That's part of their survival. The many communities of Mai Mai are led by warlords, some by traditional tribal elders, and the rest by the village heads. But there is one thing common to them all. They take part in the ritual cannibalism of their enemies because they believe it brings them their special powers and knowledge.
Before we